this.
Leave 1 week and the memory goes.
It's gone. All right, invocation by Jim.
Lord, we thank you for this opportunity to get together with fellow Lions and friends. We're so blessed with the quality of people we get to associate with. We thank you for that. We thank you for the opportunity to serve this wonderful community, that we can help others, both here in Kelso and around the world. Bless this food to the nourishment of our bodies. Be with those who can't be with us, who need your help, struggling with health problems. And bless our activities. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen.
Flag salute, Harold.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Song, Cheryl.
My country is of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of thy pilgrims pride, from every mountainside, let freedom ring.
Profound mind. I thought you were all the guys that made it sound horrible.
All right, do we have any guests back there? Sharon?
President Tom, fellow Lions and guests. We have Gary Hentor and Vicki Zanny and Ryan Cobb.
All right, so at this time I'm going to turn this over to Sandy Catt, who's going to introduce a guest for us that couldn't make it last week.
President Tom, fellow Lions, and guests, I have the honor today having as my visitor E. Ta, who is our Oscar Lemire Scholarship winner from LCC, who due to a scheduling snafu was not able to be with us last week, but very much wanted to come in person to meet you, to introduce herself, and to express her gratitude for the Lions' support of this scholarship program. He is a remarkable young woman who is also an RA Long student, in completing her probably first year, I believe, of LCC, who will be going to LCC again next year to apply her scholarship and then transferring to a Florida university. But I'm going to let her tell us a little bit more about her plans and her accomplishments. So, Edith?
As you guys know, my name is E. Ta. I'm going to be I'm like a senior graduating this Saturday at RA Long, and I'm also a Running Start student, and then I'm planning on taking another year there to finish my transfer degree in electrical engineering, and then moving forward, going over to 4 years to get my bachelor's in electrical engineering. A little bit more about me, like outside of just school, I also play volleyball. I play for RA Long and then competitively for clubs. On my free time, I also like to read, just hang out with my friends, just what high schoolers do. I also wanted to thank you guys for allowing me to be here today, to express my gratitude for this scholarship, and using that funding to help me further my education at LCC and later on at either UW or WSU Vancouver. Anyway, thank you.
All right, thanks. All right, I'm going to turn this over to Greg. his name.
Okay, today we're going to have a mini orientation like we did about 6 months ago. And it's to see if we can scrounge up some new members. We have Vicki as a guest and Gary as a guest today. And hopefully what they'll hear is something that'll entice them into say, hey, this would be a good place to be. Anyway, we're going to start off with past council chairman Hal Palmer, who's going to talk to us about what Lions International is all about, how it started and how it's run.
Thank you, Greg. And for the president, Bill Lyons and guests. I guess they asked me to do that for the guest speeches because I've actually put in many hours at that level, at the international level. First, you need to understand that Lions Clubs International is a worldwide organization which just happens to be the largest one in the world. We are in numerous countries. I think it's 206 or 7 different countries where you can find a Lions Club. The international was started back in 17, yeah. I know it by heart, right? 17 was in my brain. 1917 in Chicago, Illinois, started by a insurance man and other business people who felt that there was a need for community service. Now when you think about that, what does community service look like around the world? Well, there's disaster responses and in countries all over the place. Some of us remember 911. That was when I was governor, and Lions Clubs International was right there helping. In fact, we're the last ones to leave the site when the cleanup was completed because Lions were down there helping. If you hear about a tsunami around the world, in China, there's been about a dozen tsunamis that I know about that we've given over $300,000 or $400,000 to. As you look at that international organization, we have objects, and then we have our Lions Code of Ethics. Basically, it all boils down to our main slogan of "We serve." We serve everywhere. Our little adjunct to that is kindness matters. Because in reality, whenever we serve in the community, we provide kindness, and it matters to somebody. Whether it's through eyeglasses, whether it's through hearing surgeries, whether it's just helping somebody move when they're having a challenge. As I look at the whole international organization, we're broken down into about, I think it's 6 different regions, and we're in the what's called the Constitutional Area number 1, which is basically the United States of America and its subsidiaries. What are those territories? There it is, and other territories like Puerto Rico and places like that. At the international level, we have been recognized as the only club that is an actual, or only organization that is a member of the United Nations. Now that's interesting, and when you start to think about it, is that they consider us like a country. And when you look at an organization like us that considers us as a country, yeah, we have as many people as maybe 5 or 6 countries combined. I've been lucky enough to travel to Japan and see lions in Japan, Ethiopia, where else have I been? Oh, Canada, of course, Canada. At the level, there's a website called lionsclubs.org where you can see all the many projects that we do. And Lions Club International has a fundraising arm that helps raise the money for the disaster funding. And it's called the Lions Clubs International Foundation. I happen to be the outgoing district chair this year for this, and it's been a wonderful, it was going to be a one-year tour, and here I am 4 years later. And this club is very, very involved, and I appreciate that so much. We are part of what's called Multiple District 19, which is basically Washington, British Columbia, and Northern Idaho. And that's what I was a council chairman for. Those years I basically visited I visited the areas where about 450 clubs were. I didn't make it to all the clubs, but I made it to a lot of clubs in understanding, like in British Columbia, we have 2 or 3 Chinese clubs that are just amazing in their ability to raise funds and put on a party. Remember my first time going to one of those parties, it was in a restaurant about 5 times this size, and all of a sudden there's food in front of me that I do not recognize. And anybody who's, I know Mark Spinner, Steve Patterson is on the Zoom today. What that means is, try it. You may not like it, but try it anyway. And it was, remember my first time I ate jellyfish. That was interesting. I just thought it was a salty gummy bear myself, and I kind of liked it. We go Vancouver Island, then we go to districts that are in the process of being adjusted right now. But currently, there's a governing board at Multiple District 19 of the 9 different governors, and the past governors, and we have an office up in Bellingham, Washington, which is a storehouse for lots and lots of different items of history, so forth. So then, after we moved to the district, our current district governor from our club, Maxine Maryland, and she's online with her hubby, who had some illness issues over the weekend. This club has produced, let me see, Mark, Mike Parker, well, we didn't really produce Mike Parker, but we kept you alive, right, Mike? Mike Parker, Jim Reineke, who else in this room is a past governor? I think that's it, that's good. I gotta tell you, when I was governor, the previous governors were decades before me, and so it was quite the experience. In our district, we have 38 clubs that go from Ocean Shores area all the way out to Camas Washougal, almost to Goldendale, up towards the mountain, Chehalis, Rochester, and these clubs pretty much get to know each other really well. In fact, there are former members of many of these clubs that are in our club right now. We have former members from Kayak, Kelso Lions, I think that was, and also we have provided members to other clubs as well. When it gets down to that, the next level is called a zone, and in the zone we try to get together once every 3 to 4 months, talk about the projects we're doing, share ideas on how to get, and then do a project. And I'm not talking about your organization, right? No, that's what I thought. So, that's the structure of our organization. Are there any questions that come to your mind? It's okay to ask questions because people throw these at me anyway. John?
One piece of trivia that I remember is that we are one of 2 international multiple districts in the world.
Yeah, we are one of 2 international. That means by the fact that we have another country being Canada, which is, I gotta tell you, if you've never been to Canada, it's an amazing country. I'm glad it's open again.
It's not.
What?
It's not.
It's not open yet? Oh, it's not an amazing country. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, okay, I'm gonna tell you one thing you learn when you're in Canada, that they price their gas by the liter, and it was always been $6 or $7 when you convert it back to a gallon. So we've been lucky for all of these years. Any other additions or corrections? Okay, thank you for your attention.
The reason our president, Tom, made a comment that Canada isn't is he was born in Canada.
Oh, I see.
Okay, now we're going to hear some things about our club, and I'd like to introduce and have Mark Helps come up. Past District Governor.
Thank you, Greg. Yeah, I'll just slide that back. It's probably easier that way. The city of Longview is getting ready to celebrate their 100th anniversary in 2023, and so is this club. A lot of the history of our club and the members in the city of Longview parallel each other because the leaders have always been amongst the members of this club. Among those members on our original charter night presentation in 1923 were the city's first mayor, first police chief, first fire chief, the original pastor of Longview Community Church, the original president of the Chamber of Commerce, and the publisher of the then brand new Longview Daily News. We were chartered in 1923, sponsored by the Tacoma Lions Club, it's now the Tacoma Downtown Lions. The Longview Lions were presented with their charter on a ceremony on December 16, 1923. We had 100 members attend the event. They came from Lions clubs in Spokane, Bellingham, Everett, Seattle, Tacoma, Wenatchee, Yakima, and Portland. Think about travel in December of 1923. That's quite a challenge back in those days. Working with R.A. Long and the new city leaders, the early projects the club helped on was the road to Camp Willamette, promoting the new Columbia Theater, and helping develop the YMCA. Our Lions Club built 2 local Girl Scout camps and assisted in building the Campfire's Camp Singing Wind up in Toledo, the Two River Boys Ranch, and the old Spirit Lake YMCA camp at Mount St. Helens, which got destroyed in 1980. Lions were the true pioneers of this city. Because of those actions, they decided in 1968 to become the Longview Pioneer Lions. Change our name from Longview Lions at that time. Also in 1968, the club took on a small project. They decided to develop a island in Lake Statuia. Selected an island, set a budget of $300, obtained approval from the city council, and proceeded. In the fall of 1969, the city renamed the island Lions Island, made numerous improvements over the years, including the land bridge that went out there, putting electricity in. That was a past history, or a Frank Brown project. We heard about Frank with the scholarship items as well. In the early days, it was a little scary. You had lots of power lines laying around the ground, and in the winter during Christmas time when we're doing decorations, it tends to be a little rainy, so it's a lot of fun walking and stepping over all those. Definitely got improved over the years, and a lot of that had to do with funds that were left to us by Lion Earning Tunes. They added a totem pole when they expanded I-5 down in the Kalama area, and in 2002, under the direction of past Lion, our late Lion Jordy Moore, we had the totem poles lowered to the ground and completely repainted and refurbished. Christmas decorations have continued to grow, and it's a big deal with most of the community to see all those lights in the winter. They launched the fireworks there, and it's coming up soon, the Go-Forth celebration. Once again, back to the fireworks, which should be fun. We are an unusually large and very active Lions Club. I think it was touched on a little bit by Hal, but it's pretty crazy. I know back in 2013 maybe, maybe it was 2008, when we were doing one of our anniversaries, at that time I checked through Lions International, and we were the 8th largest club in Constitution Area 1, or actually 1 and 2 in the United States and Canada, so we are a very large club. In 1925, Helen Keller spoke at the Lions convention, and she asked Lions to be the Knights of Flying, and that kind of started the focus of ours. Greg will tell you a little bit more about sight and hearing in a little bit, from what I understand. But that really started a lot of that. In addition to sight and hearing projects, our club has built over 100 wheelchair ramps for low-income people. We are one of the main primary sponsors of the Walk Knock Food Drive. Big contributors to LCIF, as Hal has already talked about, care programs, Steve would probably tell us about as well. A lot of scholarship and elementary school book donations. Sandy will probably talk briefly on that again. We sponsor a Boy Scout troop and pack, support a number of local organizations like the Salvation Army and Longview. Service projects in our club, how we fund a lot of these. It's the Louis Show these days. It's been a variety of Lions over the years, but Chuck Wagon, Kettle Corn, the annual Spirits of Longview Beer Garden, the annual Taste of Italy Spaghetti Feed. I hope that's coming back as well. Summer golf tournaments, and a lot of fundraisers. I say that with an emphasis because a lot of what's driven our club over the years is our fun and fellowship. It's truly a hoot to go out and work on our projects. We have fun with each other, not particularly reverent to each other, but we have a little fun at each other's expense and get that going. And we're very visible. We're very successful because our membership is a very definite cross-section of the community. We have a wide variety of career types and ages, although it's a little bit older now than it was at one time. Hal's already covered a lot of the multiple district structure, but just think how much our club over 98 plus years has followed the motto, we serve. We have definitely done that in our service and our fundraising and donations. In fact, over the roughly 98 years we've contributed over $2.5 million back into the community. It's quite an accomplishment, a lot to look forward to. And something to keep in mind for all of you out there, I know I don't have a guest today, but I do have somebody that told me yesterday she's very interested in Lions, and I hope to bring her to a future meeting. But more members equals more service. The more people that we can get into our club, the more we can serve people. It's nice being a large club with a lot of members because sometimes life choices occur when we aren't able to stay as active, but other people will step up and take those positions. Other times you just pick an area that you're very interested in and work in that area. It gives a lot of opportunities. So if you're thinking about Lions, give us a shout. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Now I'd like to have Sandy Cat come up and talk to you about one of our, it's turned out to be one of our largest committees, our education committee.
Thank you, President Tom, fellow Lions and guests. It is a busy time of the year for the Education Committee. It is a fairly active committee, particularly in the spring. You met many of our scholarship recipients last week, followed up this week, meeting our honoree ETA for the Oscar Lemire Scholarship. In all, we are able to plow $12,000 annually back into our future leaders through these scholarships, named after our late active members, Oscar Lemire, Frank Brown, and Don Peck. That is a major focus of our work in the Education Committee. We analyze a large number of scholarships, many worthy recipients, and then winnow it down to our finalists. Another effort that just took place last Thursday is our book distribution program. That is where we have partnered with Columbia Heights Elementary School and backfilled after the loss of a regional program called Reading is Fundamental. The concept of this is to get forever books in the hands of our young people so they become lifelong readers. When RIF ceased to exist, this club stepped forward, partnered with Columbia Heights, and decided to provide those forever books for the young people at Columbia Heights. We were able to have 2 distributions this year, so 365 students got 2 books that they can keep as their very own. If they move, they can take them. They don't have to take them back to the library. And I know from talking with kids, This can be very important, particularly when students are transient. They own that book. They can take it, they can keep it. So those are two of our major focuses of the committee. We have a great group. We have fun. It is somewhat time limited. As I said, the focus of our efforts tend to be in the spring. We'll typically have a book distribution in early winter and in spring, and we'd love to have participants in our education committee if that's something that calls to you. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Sandy. Now you're stuck with me.
Time's up.
Yeah, Tom says time's up. I'm going to talk to you briefly about our Sight and Hearing Foundation. It's an entity completely away from our club. Helen mentioned that Helen Keller was a keynote speaker at the first international convention that Lions held. She challenged the Lions to be your Knights of the Blind. She was also deaf, so that's how we got into hearing also. Locally, for years, each individual Lions Club would provide eyeglasses for the ones that they had money for. And about 13, 14 years ago, we had a lady slip through the cracks, and she wasn't getting the help she needed. We formed a separate entity to provide the eyeglasses, hearing aids, and we've done some other medical stuff to help people out. Anyway, our foundation, we meet once a month. Our next meeting is tomorrow night, and we go over the applications for eyeglasses and hearing aids, and it's quite a program. Since we started our foundation, we're providing a whole lot more glasses and a whole lot more hearing aids, and to be quite frank, through our grants, we're flush. We have the money, and as long as we have the money, we'll continue providing those glasses and hearing aids. Does anybody have any questions I can answer on that portion of it?
About how many pairs of glasses do you provide a year?
That's a good one. The last 2 years it was down because of COVID. Prior to that, it was about 170, 180 pair a year. And hearing aids, approximately 45 pair, which is quite a few. Now this year, with COVID backing off, we're getting more applications. And I'm not sure how many we'll have for tomorrow night. I'm guessing maybe between 15 and 20 glasses and hearing aid requests.
How much money do the recipients of the glasses have to pay toward that?
Very good question. Everything is based on income and their ongoing expenses. And it's pretty easy to provide those glasses because the applications we get, you cannot believe what people live on. We don't reject very many. In the eyeglasses, we provide the glasses and the tests. Hearing aids, it depends on income as to whether we'll ask for monies from the person that's getting the hearing aids toward those. There's a kind of a, I don't know what you call it, a mark where do we provide them completely or not? And we found that there are a few people that are more than willing to pay a little bit of money to get those hearing aids. The hearing aids themselves, we provide new ones. Those we get through Starkey, who Lions Clubs International has a working agreement with, and we get those for a good price. We also provide used hearing aids that have been completely refurbished University of Washington used to refurbish hearing aids, and they got out of the program. There's a company down in Vancouver that does it now, and we can buy those hearing aids from them for a very good price, and of course provide them to the people that need them. Okay.
Hey, Greg, you want to tell people where they can drop off glasses and hearing aids?
Oh boy. Here, if you have hearing aids or eyeglasses, I'll take them. That's what they've got here in this box. We have boxes. Actually, that's not part of our foundation. That's a completely different deal as far as recycle. The eyeglass recycle is up in Lacey, Washington. That was started, probably 10 years ago, well, 2004. And since 2004, they have collected in excess of 3 million pair of eyeglasses. They used to collect hearing aids up there. All of those hearing aids that do get collected and go up there, those are brought down here and they go to that company in Vancouver, and they go through them and get the good ones to refurbish. So, okay, now let's get into, oops, Cindy.
How about explaining how, when we started this with the eyeglasses, they were sent to third world countries, we're now imported in Washington, they can stay in our state.
Okay, actually, we don't keep them in the state.
We can.
We can. The eyeglasses that are collected, they're gone through completely. The ones that are not scratched, they're in good shape, they can be used again. They're set aside. They're cleaned, and the recycling center has a machine that will find out what the prescription of those glasses are and their tag. They have what are called missions. They go to third world countries, and when they do, they'll take a little over 1,000 pair of glasses. Some areas require more nearsighted glasses, others far-sighted glasses, and they're broken out into adults, ladies, men's, and then of course kids. And from our big Sight and Hearing Foundation in Seattle, which by the way is the largest sight foundation in the world, they have a couple of machines that the optometrists can test people twice as fast as they can through other means, and they're foolproof. So it used to be they could provide in a week's time about 500 pair. Now they can produce or provide 1,000 pair. And I've talked to a number of optometrists that have been on these trips, and they say over half of the people cry getting these glasses. Can you imagine being a grandparent for the first time, see your grandkid? Yeah, it's that much. It's that rewarding. So, anyway, that's work. Mark.
Let's talk about the sight and hearing screening, mobile screening unit.
Oh.
Since we have a driver that's kind of involved, or formally.
Mike, come up here. We have time.
Oh, we don't.
We're gonna blame you, Mark.
This is past district governor Mike Parker.
I'm timing you.
Yeah, they mentioned the health screening unit, which is not running right now, because anybody here that's got a CDL that would like a very rewarding job, talk to me after the meeting. There are several mobile units that are in play now in the multiple district. I'm not sure exactly how many. I know they have a new one ordered, which is going to be housed in this district. They simply test hearing and sight. The unit that my wife and I used to run is a 48-foot trailer that we tested hearing, sight, blood pressure, glaucoma, and diabetes. I retired from that 3 years ago. We had a driver who we had to let go. We got another driver who let himself go and just quit. But in the time that Pat and I ran it, we screened approximately 500,000 kids.
And adults.
And adults. Primarily kids. We went to schools and tested hearing and sight, which is required by the state of Washington. A lot of schools don't carry out that mandate, but we helped some schools do it. We found a lot of kids that the Lions helped by getting glasses primarily, a few hearing aids, but we dispensed lots of glasses in the 20 years that we ran it. Like I say, if anybody knows of anyone who would be interested in a very rewarding job and has a CDL, please give me a call. Okay?
Like I mentioned, I'm using screeners that we have.
Oh.
Yeah.
The cameras. Yeah, Cindy just reminded me, this club has 3 spot screeners. It looks like a 35 millimeter camera on steroids, but you can screen, we've screened as young as 7-month-old babies with it. You put it up, point it at somebody's eyes, and in a matter of a few seconds, it'll tell you just about anything you want to know. Nearsighted, farsighted, misalignment, astigmatism, refraction errors. I mean, it's an amazing piece of equipment. And they are now coming out with a hearing machine, which the foundation has 4 of them on order, that can do the same thing as the cameras with the ears. Completely non-verbal. This is the camera is. You plug the earbuds in, push a button, and it'll tell you on the screen the hearing condition of whoever you're testing. I just, like I say, we got 4 of them on order right now. As soon as I can get a hold of one, I'll bring it to a meeting.
Skip.
Don't forget,
Just for point of information, Dr. Jeff Tapp, a member of our club, has gone down and done those missions, he's tremendously moved and motivated by it.
Oh, Pat.
There was an original question of where else you can bring glasses. Bring the copy today. Or we collect them, bring them, and send it to the recycling center.
kettle corn on Fridays. And Cavalier Community Church has a box.
Yep.
Don't,
And
Greg,
most all of the newspaper
don't forget
recycling
Louis.
boxes and stuff belong
Recognize
to a
Louis.
little bag.
Don't get me screen in the eye. Thanks.
Mike touched on those 3 site camera deals. Louis Fickett back here is the one that pushed that and got other clubs to donate money, and we got a matching grant from Lions Clubs International, and we were able to get those 3 cameras, plus there's some other goodies you got with it too, wasn't there, Louis?
Computers.
Oh, computer.
Printers.
Printers, right.
We got 3 printers, 3 vision screeners, and paper.
Okay, now, for Gary and Vicki, if you are interested in our club, we're not going to push much.
How much?
Our normal dues for a year is $100. That we do that from January 1 through December 31st. The last 2 years, we drop that down to $70 because, to be quite frank, we weren't spending very much money at all out of our administrative account. And through the end of this month, there is no international initiation fee. That is normally $35. That reprieve is through the end of the month. If you two would like to join, it would be $35 before the end of the month. If it's after the first of the month, it's $70. So $35 to belong to the best organization around isn't very much. And I do have membership applications with me. Does anybody have any questions about what we went over today? Oh, and the options for that, you can donate to sight and hearing. You can donate to White Cane, diabetes,
Medicine cabinet.
Leader dogs. There's all kinds of LCIF. Education, there you go.
Or lunch.
Okay. Are you done?
Oops. Run.
Just a bit of trivia. We have a charter for the club that's signed by Melvin Jones, who was the original founder, and we are in the 800s. I don't remember the exact number, but we are club number 800 out of 85,000 that is in the whole world.
Oh, that looked like the president's wife.
It
was for you.
There's a little bit of it. Yeah, okay. Sharon, do you have anything for Sunshine for March?
President Tom, fellow Lions and guests. Past District Governor Kathy Crawford is in the hospital. That's all I know. I don't know if Hal knows anything more about that. And then past District Governor Steve Patterson, as was mentioned before, he was in the hospital over the weekend and he is at home.
Good.
Yeah, Mark.
For those who are interested, Kathy Crawford was diagnosed with severe diabetes and had circulation problems. She's now had her leg amputated. One leg has been amputated shortly below the knee and had toes removed from the other foot on the other leg. So keep her in your thoughts and prayers.
Okay, Pat, it's yours. Pat, it's yours. Go ahead. Tail twist.
Oh, tail twisting.
You can stand there and do the twist if you want.
There, President Trump. Exactly what you'd like me to do. So, for those members that are guests here today, we do a thing called Happy List. So, if you're happy about something, you say.
Got quite a few in here.
President Tom, fellow Lions and guests, I have a happy $2 bill. The first buck is for the expressions of sympathy and respect for my brother who just had his funeral.
I'm working on it.
And the other dollar is I'd like to make a comment about the legacy gifting, which I received an award for recently.
It's the only copy I've got.
You don't necessarily have to go see a lawyer and pay money to do that. Every time you create a bank account at your bank or credit union, or even your 401k or IRAs, you have to list a beneficiary. Now you can list more than one beneficiary, and you can list percentages. Okay, so you can, as one of the beneficiaries, you can put Lions Club International, or you could even put Longview Pioneer Lions on there if you want. So let's say that you have a savings account with $100,000 in it, and you feel like on your death want to do something charitable,
I'll talk to
you
Ryan.
could write down a percentage, for
Oh, yeah,
example,
that's
10%.
I texted him.
And it doesn't cost you anything for a lawyer to do that. So upon your death,
There's three
that
definite.
percentage of money can go to the charitable organization. So that's an easy way to do it, and Hal has the paperwork, so our club can get credit. What is it, by the middle of this month, Hal?
Yes. By June 15th would be ideal. Anything else I've got to send over now.
Did you want to pay your fine now, Patricia, or should I get it? Are you bringing this up, hubby, huh? Oh, this call is for you, dude. Yeah. Who's your girlfriend? She's a little bit.
It's all right. I'm still not picking it up.
There's a sad $5. I say there's a story behind this, don't you? Oh. Well, Jim Reinecke's always got a story.
King Lion Tom, I've got $2, two happy dollar, sad dollar. Happy dollar is we're leaving early in the morning for Reno, Nevada. First time I went to Reno, I drove in a $2,000 car and drove out in a $50,000 vehicle. Took my own car in and left in a Greyhound bus. But we'll be going, and so we got to get out of here right away, so we're leaving early. That's part of the sad, but another one is once you reach a certain age, memory escapes you, and I missed Dave's memorial service last Saturday. And Dwayne, I'm really sorry about that.
Uh-oh. You're like really getting out of here. Yeah, okay. Hey, I mean, take care of him while you're gone, would you? About Lion Ron.
President Tom, fellow Lions and guests, $10 for, pardon me, the services for Dwayne and his brother last Saturday at the there's a little club meeting house down in Highlands. It was really a very touching service. A lot of his friends came and wished David well in his latest journey. And it was a really nice audience and a nice service.
President Tom, fellow Lions guests, happy dollar for the Cowlitz County Veterans Service Center Golf Tournament. Was held Saturday at Three Rivers, and my therapist says I'll only need about another 2 weeks. Anyway, we were able to raise a significant amount of money for the Veterans Service Center, which they deserve, and it'll be well used. So, and the Honorable Jim Sonier was the chairperson, and he did an absolutely incredible job. So, thank you, Jim. Thanks to the vets.
Lion Cindy.
Hello, President Tom, fellow Lions and guests. I have I have happy dollars. One, I canned some chicken last weekend and also did some chicken stocks. They kind of go hand in hand. And I'm super excited because Jim and I are going to a barbecue festival on the 25th at A. For those Food Network people like me, Alton Brown will be there, and so will Robert Irvine. And they're going to have a bunch of different pit masters out there so we can eat. So I'm super excited.
May you put on some weight.
Lion Rick.
King Lion Tom and guests. I have 2 tickets that are reserved seats for the Black Bears tonight. If anybody's interested, there's a pair of them right behind home plate.
The first non-rainy day in Cowlitz County in 2022 and no one's jumping at those? How about Lion Mark?
President Tom, fellow Lions and guests, some mornings I wake up grumpy, other mornings I let her sleep. First dollar is a thank you to Sandy Cat. Working at Roaring for Reading or volunteering there was just outstanding. A lot of fun. Louie and I both got hugs from the kids. It was, and I got, tell Steve online, I got applause again, Steve. I'm up one up on you now.
You got a thumbs up to you.
Thumbs up. Second dollar is about jury duty. For some reason, it comes around on a regular basis. For me, I think my wife's been selected once in 40 some odd years, and I've been selected just like every couple of years. And maybe Jim can explain, but for some reason, every time I'm selected, I do end up on a jury. I'm not quite sure why I look on this, but for some reason,
Trying to get it right.
trying to get it right. A sad dollar, our baby girl turned 39 on Sunday, so I know that, but those of you that worked years ago in concessions, when I was concession chair and she was working in the wagon, it's hard to imagine that little redhead girl is now 39 years old. And finally, remember, we love Edgar Allan Poe because he portrays universal human emotions like loss, grief, unrequited love, burying your enemy alive in the cellar and being scared out of your mind by a bird.
Lion Sandy.
President Tom Phil Lyons has guessed a couple of appreciative dollars for everyone who joined me at Columbia Heights Elementary School to give away books. It was a great crew. Thank you to this club for making it happen. It really enriches the lives of those students. So thank you, thank you.
Enriches the lives of volunteers.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they get snacks.
The hugs were worth it.
How about Lion Jim?
President Tom, fellow Lions and friends and guests, thank you for being here with us. I have $20. Yes, we got so lucky with the rain on Saturday. The day before at Veterans Center Golf Tournament, they were almost rained out. I mean, I think they were rained out. The day after, it was torrential. It just seemed to let up for us. So that was wonderful. With volunteers and fundraisers like Skip, man, just amazing. Boy, if I'd have had his personality, I wouldn't have had to go to law school. You know, gotta earn a living some way. I do want to tell you one story though. We're doing the opening ceremony about 12:45, and a few remarks, and then we're playing the national anthem. I'm inside the clubhouse, look out, and people are milling around, nobody's taking their hats off. I go, this is a veterans golf tournament, and the national anthem, and nobody's doing anything. So I run outside, the microphone was turned off. So I ran back in, nobody noticed, we started over again, this time with sound.
Did they take their hats off? Yes, they did. Well, President Tom, fellow Lions guests, I got my happy $5 for this week. I was involved with the golf tournament on Friday. It was the most miserable day of my life. I am not joking, I swear. It's like, gosh, I love golf, I love hanging out. It's a lot of fun. Not when you are soaked to the bone before you tee off the first time. Not then. And 4.5 hours later, it was slightly worse. There's my happy buck.
President Tom, fellow Lions again, just my happy $5. The first one is an extra happy buck because my brother called me up about 3 weeks ago and said, Hal, I'm sorry, I just don't have any room for you in the Friday golf tournament, but I do in the next one. They go, okay, thank you. Thank you again, Dwayne, for your legacy comments. A couple of sad dollars and good and happy dollars for both Steve and Kathy for getting better. We just hope that we get both of them back. And I got to tell you, Roaring for Reading was a hoot. Sandy decided to change things up. And so with the 4th and 5th graders, we talked about service instead of reading them a book. Oh oh my, it's interesting. Fourth graders, when I asked them for definitions of service, some said military service, some said customer service. And in that case, it took a little bit. We finally got to serving people. Fifth graders, I don't know if they could care. And I talked to one of the teachers afterwards, and she says, yep, they're the me generation, is they wanted to get to their book. But we eventually got them to talk about service, and it was a really nice change. Thank you, Sandy.
Secretary Sandy.
President Tom, members, and guests. First, I'm going to put my
Secretary hat on.
right. And I wanted to let everybody know that we finally got a check from LNA for when we did the Beer Fest. And we got $928. There was 4 of us working, so that's $132 for each of us. So we're going to donate that to the new trailer. And that's Gail and Bob, me and Louie. We were there 2 days, 10 hours each day, so it was really great. Okay. So, my hubby turned 72 this Friday.
Or is the present for Louie, we don't sing.